Remember that rush of opening your first holographic card back in the 90s? That familiar scent of fresh cards, the metallic shine catching the light just right, and the pure joy of showing off your newest treasure at school? Yeah, me too. After 20 plus years away from the hobby, I found myself standing in my local card shop aisle last month with my heart racing just like it did when I was 10 years old. As a 90s kid who just jumped back into collecting, I know exactly how confusing and exciting it can be to start collecting Pokemon cards again. Whether your cards are still at your parents' house or they're long gone at a garage sale, I'll show you everything you need to know about collecting Pokemon cards in this year. Let's talk about what's changed since we were kids. Back then we had base set, jungle, and fossil, and it was pretty simple, right? Now Pokemon releases new sets every few months. But don't worry, I'll break it down for you. Remember when a holographic card was the best thing that you can pull? Well, now we have reverse holos. Basically, instead of the Pokemon being holographic, the outside border will be holographic. You also have V cards, which are like the old EX cards but cooler. You have VMAX cards now, which are giant powerful Pokemon. And you also have alt art cards, which have amazing artwork that looks like it belongs in a museum. And then you also have secret rares, which are super special cards with unique designs. Right now, everyone's talking about sets like Scarlet and Violet Pokemon 151, which includes all the original Pokemon that we grew up with, Prismatic Evolutions, which is the latest set to be released, and Surging Sparks, which is just a fun set to collect with really cool chase cards. The best part, the cards look better than ever. That old holographic Charizard that we all wanted, just wait until you see what a modern illustration rare Charizard looks like now. Since you're just getting back into collecting, here's some confusing terms which you should know. Chase card. This is the card that most people look out for when they open a booster pack. This usually correlates to some of the most expensive cards within that set. Pull rate. How likely you are to get a card. Alt art. Cards with special artwork that seem different from normal. Secret rare. Super rare cards with special numbers on the bottom. Illustration rare. This is similar to an alt art card where the card itself just looks like a really nice artistic piece of work. Think of it like this. Collecting now is like playing your favorite childhood video game, but with amazing new graphics and cool bonus levels. Same game you loved, but just way more awesome. Let's talk about how to jump back in without breaking the bank. And trust me, I made some rookie mistakes when I started again, and I'm here to save you from doing the same. The best way to start. Start with an Elite Trainer Box, or ETB for short. Think of it as like your starter kit, and it comes with 8 to 10 packs to open, card sleeves to protect your pulls, a player's guide showing all the cards in the set, a cool box to store everything in. I personally get ETBs when starting a new collection just because of the player's guide. The player's guide includes a full checklist of all the cards in a set. This makes it super easy to track which cards you have and which ones you're missing. If you don't have a player's guide, you can use online resources or check YouTube videos from other collectors as well to see how they organize their binders. Now you may be wondering, what should you spend? Ideally, you want to buy Pokemon TCG products at MSRP. The closer you can get it to MSRP, the better deal that you're getting. For example, MSRP prices for various Pokemon TCG products may include Elite Trainer boxes at $40 to $50, booster boxes at $90 to $120, and single packs at around $4 to $5 each. Start with maybe $100 to get a feel for things. Pick one set that you like and start there. I recommend Scarlet and Violet 151 just because it has all of our favorite Pokemon when we were growing up as kids. Now you remember how overwhelming it felt walking to a card shop as a kid? It might feel that way again at first, but take it slow. Start with one ETB, learn what's in the set, and build from there. Before you know it, you'll be teaching others about chase cards and pull rates. So you remember how we used to just throw our cards in a 3-ring binder or bring them to school just in our backpack or pockets? This is cringe. Let's do better this time around. Those cards you're about to collect could be worth some serious money if you take care of them. Protecting your cards, the basic must-haves. Penny sleeves are the soft plastic sleeves that cost about a penny each. Then you have top loaders, and these are the hard plastic cases. And then you also have a good card binder, not those old ringed ones that bend cards. Here's exactly what you need to do when you pull a good card. First, never touch the shiny part. Then slide it into the penny sleeve, and then put that into a top loader. Then store it somewhere safe and cool. For your regular cards, you can get a nice storage box, but not a shoebox this time. You could also use card dividers to organize by set, and make sure to keep them away from sunlight and humidity. And don't ever use rubber bands on them. Now, what about grading? If you pull something amazing, like that Charizard that you've been hunting, you might want to get it graded. Think of it like getting a report card for your card. First you have PSA, and this is the most popular grading company. Then you have BGS, and they're known for being super strict. And then you have CGC, which is like the new kid on the block. But here's the thing, don't rush to grade everything. Only grade cards that are in perfect condition, worth more than $100, and special to you. Before you even open your first pack, have your sleeves and top loaders ready. Trust me, there's nothing worse than pulling your dream card and having nothing to protect it with. This is how I mistakenly started. Now that you know how to protect your cards, let's talk about what you actually want to collect. Back in the day, we all just wanted that shiny Charizard, right? Well, now there are so many cool ways to collect. There are tons of creative ways to build a Pokemon card collection, and I've seen some amazing ideas online. Here are a few unique approaches. Collecting only one Pokemon. Some collectors focus on just one Pokemon, like only collecting Pikachus, Charizards, or Eevees. This type of collection can include every version of that Pokemon, Holo, Reverse Holo, Full Art, and even vintage cards. Collecting special illustration rares. Instead of chasing full sets, some collectors only go for special illustration rares because of their detailed artwork and higher value. These are some of the most visually stunning cards, making for an amazing binder collection. Creating a personal favorites binder. Some people skip the whole set completion idea and just collect their favorite cards from different sets. If you go this route, you'll probably want a larger binder that holds more than 360 cards. There are binders out there that can hold over 1,000 cards, and I'll leave a link to them down below in the description. Collecting one of every Pokemon. This is a fun challenge where collectors try to own at least one card of every Pokemon that exists. Every time they find a rarer or better version of that Pokemon, they swap it out into their binder. Over time, the collection becomes a mix of different sets, arts, and rarities, but with one goal, which is to catch them all. Now, before you start shopping, it's important to know that there are two main types of Pokemon cards. You have modern cards and vintage cards. Modern cards. These are the cards from recent sets, the ones you'll find in stores right now, like Twilight Masquerade, Paldea Evolved, or Obsidian Flames. They're easier to find because they're still being printed. They're much cheaper to start collecting, so they're perfect for beginners. The artwork is incredible, with bright colors, shiny holo patterns, and full art designs that look like mini masterpieces. If you're just getting started, modern cards are the way to go. You can build a collection without spending a fortune. And there's always new sets coming out to keep things exciting. Vintage cards. Vintage cards are the old school Pokemon cards from the late 90s and early 2000s, like the ones you remember from Base Set, Jungle, or Team Rocket. They're much harder to find, especially in good condition. They're more expensive since many of them are rare and highly collectible, but they're also full of nostalgia, especially for collectors who grew up during Pokemon's original boom. If you're after cards that bring back childhood memories, or you're looking for investment-worthy collectibles, vintage cards are a fun, but pricey, path to explore. Which should you collect? There's no wrong answer, it all depends on your goals. Want to build a collection quickly and open packs for fun? Go modern. Want to chase down cards you loved as a kid? Explore vintage. Either way, there's something magical about both, and your collection can be a mix of both old and new if you wanted. The big question, fun or funds? Are you collecting because it's just fun, like the good old days, or do you want to make money, so where some cards are worth thousands, or both, which is really cool too? My advice is that you start with something that makes you happy. Maybe it's one Elite Trainer box of each new set, or maybe it's all the Eevee evolutions like Flareon, Vaporeon, and Umbreon, or maybe it's just the coolest looking cards, or maybe it's cards that remind you of playing Pokemon Red and Blue. There's no wrong way to collect. Well, except trading a Machamp for a sandwich, which like I did in elementary school. I regret that one. Where to buy cards? Now that you've got a better idea of what you want to collect, it's time to talk about something just as important, where to actually buy your cards. And trust me, after spending way too much money in all the wrong places, I've learned the hard way exactly where you should shop and where you should absolutely avoid. The safe spots. Best places to buy Pokemon cards. Local card shops. These are your best friend in the hobby. Local card shops aren't just stores, they're like community hubs for collectors. You can talk to real people who actually know Pokemon cards. The staff can help you learn the value of cards and what's worth buying. Most shops offer fair prices, especially if you get to know the owner. Best of all, they're a great place to meet other collectors, whether you're into buying, trading, or just talking about cards. Big retail stores. These stores are often easy to find, and they sell cards at MSRP when they're in stock. Think Target, Walmart, GameStop, Best Buy, Barnes & Nobles. They're the starter towns of Pokemon card hunting. You might not always find everything that you want, but you know what you're getting is real and priced fairly. Trusted websites when you can't find cards in person. If local stores don't have what you're looking for, there are a few trusted websites that I personally use and recommend. First, you've got the Pokémon Center website, and you're basically getting products straight from the source. TCG Player. Think of this like Amazon, just for trading cards though. Tons of sellers, competitive pricing, and everything is organized by set. Then you've got eBay, a great option for rare singles, but only buy from sellers with lots of positive reviews and clear photos of the actual card. The danger zone, where to be careful or completely avoid. There are a few places where you might see amazing deals, but more often than not, they're too good to be true. First, you've got random Instagram sellers with no reviews or reputation. Then you've got Facebook Marketplace, unless you really know what to look out for. Then you've got the flea market vendors with no sealed product. And then you also have mystery boxes from unknown sellers online. And then you also have anyone selling lots of rare cards for way too cheap. I learned this lesson the hard way. Once I found what looked like to be an amazing deal on Facebook, a bundle of ultra rares for way less than market price, only to realize that each card was fake when I went in person. Lesson learned. If a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. I learned to always check prices on TCG Player or eBay before buying anywhere. Even at local card shops, it's smart to know what a fair price actually is. You can join your local card shop's Reddit server or Facebook group. These communities share restock alerts, deals, and even host trade nights. You could also make friends with other collectors, and some of my best leads on deals came from other collectors giving me tips. So if you remember how we used to all trade Pokemon cards at school, well, now the whole Pokemon community is online. Ask questions, do your research, and stick to trusted sellers. The Pokemon community is really helpful if you find the right group on Reddit, Facebook, or elsewhere. And the more you learn, the more you'll enjoy building your collection the right way. Now before you dive into hunting cards, I need to give you a heads up though. At the time of the recording of this video, Pokemon card prices are insanely inflated. If you're new to the hobby, you might not realize it, but prices on some cards and sealed products are way higher than they should be. If you've been collecting for a while, it's still easy to get caught up in the hype and overpay for something that really isn't worth it. Here's the thing, FOMO, or fear of missing out, is real in the Pokemon card market. When people see a hot new set or a rare chase card, they panic buy thinking it's their only chance to get it. But trust me, patience is key. Don't rush into overpaying just because you're afraid the cards will disappear forever. Pokemon keeps printing more, restocks happen, and prices always settle down over time. Well, in most cases. Before spending your hard-earned money, make sure to do some research. Check recent sale prices on sites like TCG Player or eBay, sold listings, not just asking prices. Be patient. New products will restock, and even rare singles tend to drop a little in price once the hype fades. Avoid panic buying. If something is overpriced, chances are that it'll be cheaper later. At the end of the day, there will always be more cards. The key to being a smart collector is knowing when to buy and when to wait. Next, take a moment to think about your goals. Are you buying for fun, to complete a collection, or to invest in valuable cards? Knowing what you're after will help you spend your money wisely and avoid making purchases you might regret later. Now for a last note on how I'm collecting Pokemon cards, let's talk about something that's a bit more cost effective when it comes to actually completing Pokemon sets, and that's buying specific Pokemon card singles. This is like going to a jewelry store and picking out the exact necklace that you want instead of getting a mystery box of jewelry. Make awesome choices. You can get exactly the Pokemon card that you love. They're often cheaper than trying to find that specific card in packs. Cards can come in different styles and rarities. The price of single cards can fit any budget from $5 to $100 plus. And in order to get the right single, just check your player's guide and see what you're missing from your collection. Maybe you're still trying to complete your Charizard collection or missing a certain Charizard, or maybe you're only a few cards away from finishing your master set of Surging Sparks. The really cool thing about buying single cards is that you can actually go ahead and go to your local card shop and see them in person before you actually make that purchase. Likewise, you could actually order single cards from online as well if there's none available in your local card shops. Now, where can you find these single cards? You've got three options. You can visit your local card shop where you actually see the cards in person, plus the staff can help you pick something out that's amazing. You could also check out tcgplayer.com, which is what I like to said before. It's like Amazon, but just for Pokemon cards, and make sure you buy from super trustworthy sellers. So there you have it. How I started collecting Pokemon cards again for the 90s Kid Guide. Now, if you want to learn what a good card binder looks like to put your cards in, make sure to watch this video next.